who you made look like the GOAT, it's over for you, buddy. And maybe that's why Jimmy Garoppolo was looking so good when he was with them. Because Bill was feeding him the information. So I ain't trying to hear that, y'all. Y'all can look at it any way y'all want. Hey, this is just the HRap point of view. But don't tell me Brady is great ever again. Ever again. Because this dude is getting all the codes. You see, ain't nobody stepping up. And James Harrison even said, James Harrison today on the Shannon Sharp show said, every time I talk to somebody, they thought what the Patriots was doing was normal. The boy used to play, Joey Porter still mad. James Harrison still mad. Ryan Clark still mad. All the Steelers is mad. Ray Lewis and that crew mad. The Broncos is everybody that they got popped. Al Davis went to his grave mad. Hey, bro, don't tell me about no Patriots. Never again. Hey, besides Bill Belichick, because he's the criminal man. Hey, if you one of the henchmen, you get no respect. If you Lex Luthor, you the man. You the genius. Y'all just executing my plan. I'm not going. Hey, and I'm a Tom Brady guy. Up until this, I was like, I saw a little something in Tom Brady. Like, he decent, he alright. Back when he was still a Rudy Poo. Back when he was at Michigan. But don't tell me he better than Moon, Montana. You better not tell me Tom Brady better than McNabb. You better not tell me Tom Brady better than Vince Evans. I mean, most people don't even know who the hell Vince Evans is. Don't tell me Tom Brady is out of the conversation. Can't take your awards from you, but bruh, you cheated your way. You got the damn cheat codes. You didn't beat me. The game beat me. So, with that being said, you can look at it any way you want. Tom Brady ain't on shit no more. He ain't on shit no more. No more. I ain't going. With that being said, let's talk about some of these games this week. And I'm going to shut it down like Chuck D. Shout out to DJ Knox for playing that Chuck D today, man. Shout out to DJ Knox, the crown holder. But, back to this, man. Atlanta versus San Francisco. Again, Jimmy G is looking real regular. But I can't really hold it against Jimmy G. The reason I'm going to hold it against him because, hey, at the end of the day, this is rookie year. He learning a new system. This is first 16 games in a row playing. Big ups to the San Francisco 49ers, but bigger ups to the Atlanta Falcons for kicking their draws in their ass. Now, they may have to go on the road as a wild card. Big ups to the Falcons. It's going to be interesting in this playoff run. Another team I want to talk about is the Seattle Seahawks. Y'all one man down. Prayers to Josh Gordon. But Russell Wilson, this might not be, is not better than you. My man Wonka just said Tom Brady is not better than you. Big ups to Wonka. I might be the only motherfucker he better than Wonka. Because he ain't better than Eli at this point. Because Eli sucked and stuck it up on his own. Allegedly. But I ain't trying to hear that no more. Y'all go head on with that greatest shit now. No, only, like they be saying, only like when Christopher Columbus Day come around, they say only Chris our honor is Wallace. Only great our honor is DeMarcus. Cause Tom, you ain't great, bruh. You ain't great, bruh. I ain't trying to hear it. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks. And I want to do this, man. 15 years ago, the late great Steve McNair tied with Tom Brady for league MVP. I understand that my man Lamar Action Jackson is running away with the MVP. But I ain't gonna be mad if y'all go ahead and give Russ and Action Jackson co-MVPs like y'all cheated my man Steve McNair. That'd be kind of dope. But Russell Wilson did it again, man. Took over the number 1 seed, kicking ass, taking names, checking fools, chin checking fools. Holla at your boy. Big ups to Russell Wilson, man. Now, with that being said, I got to hurry up. This music is off. When this music run out, I'm running out of airtime. I ain't running out of airtime. I'm running out of information. And I want to talk about this. The Bills versus the Steelers. Look, the Bills, first time they won 10 games in 20 years. Big ups to them. The Steelers got a dude named Duck. When I was coming up, Duck mean you was a Rudy, sucker Duck. But big ups to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers were still holding their own, man. They on their third string. Really, their fourth string quarterback is Josh Dobbs with their third string. Big ups to the Steelers for doing the damn thing. The Vikings held serve against Groundhog Day, a.k.a. Phillip Rivers. So the Vikings doing the damn thing. You know, I'm going to end this quicker. The Packers did the same with the Bears. Them sorry-ass Bears in Chicago, you mother suckers. The Pats and the Bengals. If it wasn't for defense, again, your man Tom Brady would have freaked the game. The Texans and the Tennessee Titans, don't nobody really want to play either one of those teams. And the Rams and the Cowboys gave y'all a little fool's gold. They still ain't shit. If y'all believe that, go ahead. The Eagles stunk it up, all to be down, and then still pulled it out. Shout out to the Eagles. And with that being said, y'all, I'm finna shut it on down, man. I'm finna give y'all a little information. This is not my last show ever. This will be the last show of 2019 for the end of the bench. Me and the homie Chief Rocker, because we know y'all gonna be with y'all families on Christmas Day, watching sports and everything, and y'all ain't gonna tune in. The brothers gonna work it out. Our community empowerment show. We're gonna do the community empowerment show in this slot next week. The one time we're gonna do it next week. So this is the last show at the end of the bench this year, man. I wanna thank each and every one of you guys and all the countries around the world who listen to the Built for This network. Monday morning is the number one Chief Rocker. Monday, Tuesday evenings, yours truly, HRap B. Tuesday afternoon, DJ Knox, the crown holder. Wednesday, the number one Chief Rocker and myself on the social empowerment show called Brothers Gonna Work It Out. And then Thursday, the Groove House with DJ Mook. And then Thursday, late afternoon, one of the dopest shows you'll ever listen to on the network. It's gonna be our crown jewel. I keep telling Knox, it's gonna be the crown jewel. I don't think he really believed me, but that's a dope ass show. I need y'all to turn into Theory of the Culture. It's like a pop culture, hip hop, what's ever going on in the world on the hip hop side. Knox and Chiz Roundtree holding it down there. Knox gonna kill it every Friday. Stop you from choking your boss. I want to thank each and every one of y'all, whether you're a background listener or you're in the chat room. I've changed something. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, brother Ron. I've changed a little bit. I always drop a little social commentary at the end of the show. I got a clip about the Scottsboro boys, about our community. 2 fingers, 1 word. Stay tuned for the next 7 minutes. It's HRap, and I'm out.
This program is brought to you by Emory University.
One of the most interesting, crazy, incredible cases of American jurisprudence deals with Scottsboro. Again, you can't understand unless you've got the context of the Great Depression. You have folks riding the rails looking for work just because they can't afford to, I'll go find this job here. So they're just hopping on a train and riding in, trying to find work wherever they can find work. Well, what happens in the Scottsboro case is you have 9 black teenagers, and some of them get in a fight on the train with a couple of white guys. The train stops in Scottsboro, because this fight has broken out. As they're getting off the train, as the sheriff's folks are there, the white guys get off, the black guys get off, and then 2 white women get off. And the townsfolk are looking around going, oh. And the white women, because you've got black guys and white women in Alabama in the early 1930s, I believe 1932. It's like, whoa. And the women, Victoria Price and Ruby Bates, yell rape and say that these 9 black teenagers raped them. The town immediately took the 9 kids, hauled them in jail. There was a one-day trial for these 9 kids that ranged from the age of like 12 or 13 to 17, known as the Scottsboro Boys. In this trial, Victoria Price described a horrific rape. Well, the problem was that the doctor who had examined these women said, there's no evidence of rape here. But that didn't stop the jury. The doctor now didn't testify that there was no evidence of rape, but it was very clear that he knew there was no evidence of rape, and he had told folks there was no evidence of rape. These 9 black teenagers were convicted, and rape was an executable offense in the 1930s. And so in a one-day trial, 8 of them were sentenced to die in the electric chair. The youngest was sentenced to life imprisonment in an Alabama prison. Now, there are multiple problems with that story. One, Ruby Bates, one of the women who had yelled rape, recanted, said it didn't happen. Now, let me tell you what really happened here. We're prostitutes. And the Mann Act, the Federal Mann Act, says that we were afraid of getting, because you can't cross state lines for immoral purposes. And since we crossed over out of Tennessee into Alabama, we were afraid that we might get brought up on federal charges. So we were just trying to protect ourselves. And so we just said, rape. Another part of the problem was that first the Communist Party's legal wing hopped in there and took this case up to the Supreme Court to try to protect the Scottsboro Boys. Then the NAACP hopped in it. But a major Supreme Court decision was the Powell v. Alabama decision that came after this. Because think about this. You're on trial for your very life for a crime that never happened. Your court-appointed attorneys, one is the town drunk. I believe at the time he may have had a blood alcohol level of 0.2. I mean, lit. The other attorney in a capital case is probably in about the 4th stages of senility. So one of your attorneys is senile, looking for butterflies, and the other one is drunk, seeing butterflies. Now, the Supreme Court, even the Supreme Court in the 1930s went, really? No, come on. Come on. This is just too much even for us. And they remanded the case. They kicked the case back down. You got to try these fellas again. Well, what happens now that they've got a real legal team is that they began to construct the train and found out that many of the Scottsboro boys weren't even in the same car as the women. So how can a rape happen if the guys aren't in that car? They were convicted once again. Case goes back up to the Supreme Court. By the time there were so many egregious constitutional errors in this case that by the time the Scottsboro case is done, and eventually they start getting let out one by one by one by one, it took first 18 years for the last one. Imagine being in prison, in an Alabama prison. You are 17. You get out when you're 35 for a crime that never happened, a crime where one of the women has recanted, a crime where the evidence demonstrates that you couldn't have done this thing. This would be called an egregious wrong. You also had several who had escaped. Imagine trying to escape from an Alabama chain gang, but they managed to get out. Michigan refused. Alabama tracked one down up into Michigan. Michigan refused. And think about this, a state refusing to extradite a convicted felon back to Alabama because Michigan looked up and said, this is wrong. This is just wrong. The last one was pardoned by Governor George Wallace sometime, I believe, in the 1980s. So imagine again, basically living in the shadows. for almost 4